Yo, it is your boy Boss. Show me bring you another one. So listen, man, today's stream is brought to you by Sleeper App. When you rock that Sleeper App, man, it's gonna help you out. Put some coins in your pocket. So yeah, Sleeper App, go for a Hail Mary on Sleeper Picks and win up to 100 times your money. Use promo code BCS and Sleeper will 100% match your first deposit up to $100 instantly. So this is one that's obviously very important because this is a plan that I have, because at this point I want Matt Eberflus gone. And usually that is not the right move for any team, to get rid of one of their defensive coordinators. It's usually honestly unwise. So I said this on X. I said Eberflus will be fired. Might as well do it now. And so, you know, obviously it was some people that said, and hire who in mid-season? And so I'll explain my plan, and you know, he ain't respond because some people just be negative as hell. And then somebody said casual take, and it's like, yeah, I said more like well thought out. So when I do this show and I do this video, obviously I'm gonna post it to those two guys, because you know I'm petty like that. To be honest, I'm petty. But yeah, I understand why they would think that though, you know, because most people, they just talking and they're not thinking through the details, because there are some risks. So let's talk about the risks, and I'm gonna talk about how my solution answers every one of these risks. So number one risk of trying to get an outside coach is different language. So if you bring in, let's say any, because I've heard names thrown out, you know, if you bring in any coach, they're going to have to then learn Eberflus's language as they're preparing for the next opponent. And then go have to intuitively call a game.
Oh, hell no.
Nah, that's super hard to do. Then obviously that's a communication thing with an outside coach. Being able to communicate. Then on top of that, the problem with an outside coach is tall coaching learning curve. It's a major learning curve, because he would have to learn the players. He would have to learn the system. He would then have to start trying to implement some of his. And you trying to do that while live bullets. And you would have to, it basically destroy the entire install. And so think about all those practices that went into trying to prepare for a season. Think about that. OTAs, rookie OTAs, training camps, building up, installing piece by piece every week until you feel like you're ready to deploy your whole defense. So that's why you'll see people say that's a casual take, but they don't know me. You know, they don't know me. Is I get it stuffed out. So I thought about a way to do it, and I'm not gonna say it's simple, but it's possible. Because first of all, you solve all of it by doing it from within. So if you actually pick coaches from within, now you solve all the problems. You can get rid of Matt Eberflus, and you'll have coaches that know the language, can communicate it. They've been doing it since install. That learning curve is now shortened tremendously. And then you don't destroy your install, right? So you'll have people that's working within the install. The only problem with it a little bit is it wouldn't have the direct tweaks that could have been done by a coach if they would have installed it. So to actually get rid of Eberflus, the only way to really consider that is to honestly do it from within. That's how you do it. If you want to get rid of Eberflus, do it from within. So who would be the DC and who would be, in my opinion, the passing game coordinator? Well, my DC would be White Cotton for a couple of reasons. If you look at his resume, right, you don't see defensive coordinator in his resume at all. But what you do is see assistant head coach in his resume. Okay. So assistant to the head coach for the Buffalo Bills in 2017. So, and what I'm looking for in this bend don't break defense is somebody that's an enforcer. Somebody that is a mirror of Rod as much as possible in terms of being, because when you're dealing with bend don't break, it's more about effort. So it's about a guy that's a taskmaster, somebody that has the presence to be able to lead alpha men and actually what some people would call a demanding coach. And he has the presence to me to be that type of guy, a demanding coach, White Cotton. So when I listen to him, he also resembles the words of Rod.
What are you stressing? What are you emphasizing in terms of technique here out the spring?
The same thing that we'll stress whenever we get to game 1 of the preseason, game 2 of the preseason game, violence and effort. Those two things will never, ever, ever change for us. Violence and effort, violence and effort. Now, the technique part of it, like this hand placement here, this step, this footwork, that stuff is all nuanced things that you add into the game that you're talking about. But when you're down in that area, in the trenches down there, some of that stuff kind of goes out the window, especially if you play with violence and effort.
What changes?
There you go. And see, that's why he would be my DC. It's because I'm trying to rebuild a Rod type of defense from within. So Rod was somebody that he just kind of let you know he was an enforcer.
Ever shied away from a question.
I
Right?
know that to be true, yes, sir.
Have I?
No.
Okay. And even though you ask me 8,000 times I'm going to retire or I feel a little old, I still respect it. But I'm disappointed in it, and I don't respect people who ask that because I think they're soft, really soft, for asking a question like, what kind of question is that?
An enforcer. Y'all see what I'm saying? I want y'all to see the vision.
After a game, when I ask me about run defense, I'm telling you, I'll give you everything you want. But that's wrong. But part of the deal.
I asked because of the report.
Rod didn't play. He was like that with everybody. He was very direct, very direct. And that's why the men respected him. That's why, in my opinion, it's not about just a schematic guy. It's about the guy that's going to be able to demand maximum effort from everybody from the top. And to me, your best chance of that is White Cotton. That's my opinion.
That was out there.
Ask me, and I answered, so his report is off. Just ask me. Ever shied away from a question.
Yeah, so you need that. That's what you need, in my opinion. You need that enforcer. That's what you get with Rod. You get a major enforcer. Absolutely. That's what you want. That's what you're aiming for. Not Rod, I'm sorry. What you get with White Cotton is an enforcer. Period. Somebody that's willing to stand up and demand and be demanding of his players. When you willing to step up in Quentin Williams' face and he 3 times your size, that's kind of like, in my opinion, what we need. Especially with a defense that's up and down and we keep hearing them about consistency. It's like put a enforcer at the top that's gonna be demanding. So then what about the secondary? Then the secondary to me is now answered by Nick Sorensen. Some people say, but boss, he's the special team coach. No, he's got a lot of experience. Nick also was a defensive coordinator. He also was a passing game coordinator. He coached the secondary before, the entire secondary. So if you go check out his resume, we can try to make this thing fit. So this is Nick's resume where you can clearly see, obviously he's special teams right now, but he was the defensive coordinator as of last year, right? But mostly what he did was Nichols coach, defensive passing game specialist. So he actually could be the person that can come in and try to help with the technical side and better coaching with your secondary. That secondary might need all out changes where you might get rid of Flus and his secondary coach, because you can see that's what he's been coaching: special teams and what? Secondary, 2017, 2018, 2019. So in my opinion, you can try to blend them guys to get him out. And I really want Eberflus out. The main reason I want Eberflus out is because he's a clear Trojan horse to me. A Trojan horse is somebody that was handpicked by Jerry, and it causes Jerry, in my opinion, to lose judgment because he overfavors those guys. Similar to Jason Garrett, similar to Kellen Moore. He give him too much rope because his own identity is tied to him.
As having all the answers. And so when I jumped at it when I saw we had a chance to get him.
See, he jumped at him when he had a chance to get him.
Because there's no such thing as having all the answers. And so when I jumped at it when I saw we had a chance to get him.
Yep. So you see, I don't want no Trojan horses. That's one of the main reasons I want Eberflus out, because in my opinion, we running the risk of Jerry wanting to be a co-coach, right? So if he want to get rid of Diggs, he not gonna get pushed back by a Trojan horse coach, somebody that he directly ran to, right? And then I don't like the fact that Stephen Jones came out and said getting rid of Micah Parsons was unanimous. Where's your common sense, Eber? Where's your common sense? Like, it should have been at least one person in there like, I don't quite agree with that. But the fact that you went with that, nah. It shows me your judgment is poor. And see, you got to watch Jerry, because Jerry had all these desires to be coach.
I've been around a lot of coaches. As a matter of fact, I wanted to be a coach. Except I wanted to live better than I thought coaches live. I wanted to drive, but I wanted to be involved in football. I would have been a coach. I loved it. But coaches didn't seem like they financially were where I wanted to be.
So you got to think about it. With somebody that's talking like that, I want to be a coach. Like, he's in his mind like, yeah, you don't want him coaching through Matt Eberflus. So I want to get that power back to Brian. No more Trojan horses. I'm cool. I don't want no Trojan horses coaches. But, you know, with the talk of getting rid of Eberflus, it's about how you go do it. What's smart? What's the best way to do it? And I thought it through. I think it's the best plan to try to move forward. Is it perfect? No. But we are dead last almost in every category. At some point, you are foolish to continue on the same road. That's insanity. You know, you trying to get him to turn it around? Nah, man. If you really go look at the Chicago, everything that was happening in Chicago, we seeing with us. Same type of discussions, exact same discussions. So this is the last thing I'm gonna show. My boy Carl said, damn, boss, it just hit me. Denver struggles with the Jets, struggling with the Giants. Should have lost the game, got away from Philly. Damn, man, our defense that bad? Under Jerry Pick, Eberflus? Exactly, it's that bad. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe to this type of content. Because this is real content, man. I'm not faking with this. I get it stuff thought. I don't play with this. I don't wing it. I really do give it thought. I don't do sloppy, half-baked content. So hit that like and subscribe. Share this content, because I really want to get Eberflus out of here. It's your boy Boss Show Me, and I'm out.